Hello everyone, I'm Tushar, a consultant at Encryption Consulting. Welcome back to our PQC series where we break down the entire PQC migration process bit by bit so you get the whole idea of what each stage is and what it entails. Today we are talking about planning the transition to post-quantum cryptography. This is not simply about adopting new algorithms. It is about replacing mathematical foundation that secures our digital infrastructure, everything from public key infrastructure and TLS to VPN code signing and identity systems. In earlier phases of PQC migration program, organizations focus on discovery, cryptographic inventory, and quantum risk assessment. Those steps help answer the question, where are we vulnerable? What we are discussing today is the next and the most consequential phase, which answers how do we transition the enterprise to quantum resilient security in a controlled, cost-effective, and minimally disruptive way. Here's how we will move through this discussion. First, we will examine why a structured planning is absolutely critical for PQC migration. We will go through 6 core reasons why planning is essential. Then we will look at the strategic objectives that guide this planning phase. We will look at 4 core objectives that planning should achieve. After that, we'll define the measurable outcomes that indicate successful preparation. We will see 5 outcomes that planning should produce. And finally, we will explore operational and technical planning, covering both business process coordination and deep technical execution. By the end of this discussion, you will have a clear understanding of how to transform quantum risk insights into an actionable governed migration roadmap. Before diving into frameworks and execution models, it is important to pause and understand why planning phase is so critical in PQC transition. It is not a routine system upgrade, patch, or a version update. It is a generational cryptographic shift. Without structured planning, organizations risk underestimating the scale of impact and treating it as a standard security refresh, which it is not. A structured planning phase transforms migration from a reactive crisis response into a governed multi-year migration strategy aligned with enterprise objectives. There are several reasons this planning phase is essential. First, this is a foundational shift. PQC replaces current asymmetric cryptographic algorithms that underpin digital trust. That means we are not upgrading components. We are changing mathematical primitives that everything else depends on. Second, PQC algorithms have different technical properties. They often involve larger keys, larger signatures, and higher computational overhead. That affects bandwidth, latency, storage, and performance. Without planning, these impacts could degrade systems unexpectedly. Third, the ecosystem impact of migration is very extensive. PKI hierarchies, TLS configurations, VPNs, code signing workflows, identity and authentication systems, all of these must transition in coordination. If sequencing is incorrect, trust chains can break. Fourth, some environments require hardware changes. Not all legacy hardware can support new cryptographic operations efficiently. Effective planning integrates hardware refresh cycles with procurement timelines early, ensuring replacements are scheduled rather than treated as an emergency purchase. Then the fifth is compliance frameworks. Compliance frameworks will continue to evolve. Regulatory bodies and industry standards will require system revalidation. Planning ensures that audit, certification, and documentation efforts are built into the migration timeline. And then we finally talk about the poor coordination. Poor coordination can cause operational disruption. Cryptographic trust underpins authentication and secure communications. If migrations are misaligned, organizations risk outages, failed authentication workflows, and interoperability breakdowns. Structured planning prevents this from becoming chaotic. It turns a high-risk shift into a controlled modernization initiative. Once we understand why planning is critical, the next question becomes, what exactly are we trying to achieve during this planning phase? Planning is not just documentation. It is a structured preparation with defined objectives. There are 4 core strategic objectives in PQC migration planning. First, we define how each critical asset will transition to PQC. Every critical cryptographic asset must have a defined migration path. This includes certificate authorities, TLS endpoints, VPN concentrators, code signing systems, identity and authentication servers, and secure email infrastructures. For each asset, the organization must determine timing, sequencing, and dependencies. Second, we determined and confirmed suitable technical solutions. This involves choosing quantum-safe algorithms, assessing crypto-agile architecture, and verifying vendor capabilities. Third, we protect sensitive data during the migration window. Migration is multi-year. During this transition period, sensitive data remains vulnerable to HNDL attacks. To reduce this, interim controls can be applied, which may include strengthening key management, reduced certificate lifetimes, segmentation or isolation of high-value systems. Risk mitigation should also be carried out alongside migration planning to ensure security is maintained as the organization transitions to quantum-safe solutions. Fourth, execute deployment in prioritized phases. Not all assets transition simultaneously. Prioritization should consider data sensitivity, system criticality, public exposure, and longevity of protected information. By the end of this stage, the organization should have a credible, funded, and governed migration program underway, not just a strategy document, but an executional roadmap. Planning must produce tangible outcomes. If the planning phase ends without measurable results, the organization remains exposed. Now, let's explore some concrete outcomes that planning should produce. Successful planning does not end with a document or a presentation. It produces concrete, measurable, and actionable output that moves the organization from analysis into structured execution. First, successful planning results in formal enterprise-wide PQC migration plan. This is not a high-level vision statement. It is a detailed, governed roadmap. It includes clearly defined timelines that outline short, medium, and long-term milestones. It specifies budget allocations aligned to hardware refresh cycles, software upgrades, vendor engagement, testing environments, and staffing requirements. It formally assigns ownership and accountability across business units, security teams, infrastructure groups, and executive sponsors. Most importantly, it prioritizes critical assets based on risk exposure and business impact, ensuring that protection efforts are both strategic and defensible. At this stage, migration becomes embedded into enterprise planning cycles rather than treated as an isolated security initiative. Second, successful planning produces validated migration solutions. This means the organization has moved beyond theoretical discussions of quantum-safe algorithms and has identified specific technical approaches for prioritized systems. For example, decisions may be made regarding hybrid cryptographic deployment, certificate hierarchy redesign, crypto-agile frameworks, or updated key management architecture. Vendor alignment is confirmed, ensuring that hardware security modules, network devices, cloud providers, and software platforms support the chosen cryptographic mechanisms. Feasibility is tested, not only technically, but operationally and financially. This validation step prevents late-stage surprises and reduces implementation risk. Third, planning establishes interim safeguard to reduce exposure during the migration window. Because PQC transition is multi-year, organizations cannot simply wait for full deployment. Sensitive data, especially long-lived data such as intellectual property, financial records, healthcare information, or governed communications, may be vulnerable to HNDL attacks. Interim measures may include shortening certificate lifetimes, strengthening key rotation policies, segmenting high-value systems, enhancing encryption monitoring, or isolating particular vulnerable assets. These temporary risk reduction controls ensure that exposure is actively managed while full migration progresses. The fourth is that effective planning triggers acquisition or internal development activities. This is the point where planning transitions into tangible movement. Procurement processes are initiated for hardware upgrades or vendor-supported PQC solutions. Engineering teams begin developing or integrating quantum-safe cryptographic libraries. Testing environments are provisioned. Contracts are negotiated. That means vendors are engaged and terms of products, services, delivery, and support are finalized to enable PQC implementation. Internal compatibility building may begin, including staff training and architecture redesign efforts. When planning produces procurement orders, engineering sprints, and allocated funding, it signals that organization has moved beyond conceptual readiness. Finally, successful planning results in initial deployment of PQC capabilities within prioritized environments. This may begin with pilot programs, limited production rollout, hybrid certificate deployment, or implementation within less complex systems. Even if scope is initially narrow, early deployment serves several important purposes. It validates assumptions about performance and interoperability. It builds institutional experience. It demonstrates measurable progress to leadership and regulators. And most importantly, it begins reducing long-term cryptographic exposure. When these outcomes are achieved, migration is no longer theoretical. The organization shifts from awareness and planning into governed operational execution. At this point, PQC transition becomes an active modernization program with momentum, accountability, and measurable impact, rather than a future concern waiting to be addressed. We will discuss more about how to achieve these outcomes in the next part. Now, we move from strategy into execution structure. Operational and technical planning must work together. One addresses governance, coordination, and continuity. The other addresses cryptographic dependencies, system redesign, and protection mechanisms. Let's begin with business process planning. Migration to post-quantum cryptography affects far more than cryptographic libraries and certificate configurations. It impacts governance structures, accountability models, and operational workflows and cross-functional coordination across the enterprise. This is why business process planning is not secondary to technical execution. It is the foundation to it. The first and the most critical step is appointing a dedicated migration manager or program lead. This role cannot be informal or distributed across multiple teams without ownership. The individual responsible for PQC migration must possess a comprehensive understanding of the organization's architecture, risk landscape, and operational dependencies. They must have the authority to coordinate across security, infrastructure, application development, procurement, compliance, and executive leadership. This leader owns migration timelines, milestone tracking, issue escalation, and progress reporting. They ensure alignment between technical teams and business priorities. Without centralized leadership, efforts become fragmented. Individual departments may migrate at different speeds, dependencies may be overlooked, and critical sequencing errors can occur. A transformation of this magnitude requires a clearly accountable program owner. The second priority is defining budget and resource allocation with precision. PQC migration is a multi-year initiative that competes directly with digital transformation programs, cloud migration, regulatory projects, and other strategic investments. If funding is not explicitly secured, the initiative risks being delayed or deprioritized. Budgeting must account for hardware upgrades, including HSM replacement or network appliances, software licensing or vendor-supported PQC capabilities, engineering development and integration efforts, testing environments and validation frameworks, external advisory or compliance assessment, training and skill development for internal teams. In addition to financial investment, personnel allocation must be realistic. Cryptographic engineers, PKI administrators, DevOps teams, and security architects will need dedicated time to execute migration tasks. Without formally allocating human capital, execution becomes inconsistent and overextended teams may introduce errors. Third, downtime and operational continuity planning must be carefully structured. Some systems, particularly those deeply embedded in authentication or secure communication workflows, may require temporary shutdowns, reconfiguration windows, or staged isolation during the transition. These windows must be scheduled strategically, often during low usage periods, and coordinated with business stakeholders to minimize disruption. Risk assessment should determine acceptable downtime thresholds and define fallback mechanisms in case of unforeseen issues. Controlled migration windows are preferable to emergency outages caused by unplanned incompatibilities. The fourth is that interoperability coordination is essential. Modern enterprises operate within interconnected ecosystems. Secure communications are rarely confined within organizational boundaries. External partners, vendors, regulators, customers, and service providers may all rely on shared cryptographic standards. If an organization migrates without coordinating algorithm support, certificate validation compatibility, or protocol alignment, it risks breaking secure communication channels. Early engagement with key partners allows for synchronized transitions, hybrid cryptographic support where necessary, and mutually agreed timelines. Interoperability planning protects business relationships while security architecture evolves. Ultimately, business process planning ensures that accountability, governance structures, financial commitment, operational resilience, and external coordination are aligned before technical migration begins. Without this alignment, even technically sound cryptographic changes can create organizational disruption. And with it, the migration becomes structured, measurable, and sustainable, embedded into enterprise operations rather than layered on top of them. Technical planning is where cryptographic theory meets operational reality. Up to this point, we have discussed strategy, governance, and objectives. But technical planning is where abstract risk models and algorithm discussion translate into concrete system changes across the enterprise. It begins with comprehensive dependency analysis. Every cryptographic asset, whether it is a certificate authority, a TLS endpoint, a VPN gateway, a signing service, and a secure API, or an embedded device, it all exists within a broader dependency chain. Cryptography is rarely isolated. It supports authentication flows, session establishment, identity validation, data encryption, firmware integrity, and application trust models. A thorough review must map upstream dependencies such as root or intermediate CAs, downstream dependencies such as application and service that rely on issued certificate, protocol level dependencies including TLS versions and handshake mechanisms, hardware dependencies such as HSM-backed key storage, third-party integrations, and external trust anchors. Migration sequencing must be carefully designed to prevent incompatibilities. For example, upgrading a certificate authority to post-quantum algorithm before dependent systems can validate those certificates could break authentication across the environment. In many cases, hybrid cryptographic support, where classical and post-quantum algorithm operate simultaneously, will be necessary during the transition. Hybrid certificates, dual signature models, or layered key exchange mechanisms may provide continuity while broader compatibility is achieved. Planning for hybrid deployment requires architecture foresight and interoperability testing. Next, we come to cryptographic replacement strategy. For each asset, organization must make a deliberate decision. Should the asset be replaced entirely? Should it be redesigned to support crypto agility, or should it be retired if no longer justifies continued investment? This decision is not purely technical. It considers the asset's business criticality, the sensitive and longevity of data it protects, the potential impact of failure or compromise, the cost or feasibility of upgrading versus rebuilding, and the organization's broader modernization strategy. In many cases, PQC migration presents an opportunity to improve architecture rather than simply swapping algorithms. Organizations can implement crypto agile frameworks, systems that are designed to accommodate future algorithm changes without structural redesign. Prioritizing crypto agility reduces the likelihood of repeating large-scale transitions in the future. Equally important is ensuring data protection throughout the migration process. Existing cryptographic protection should remain in place until new mechanisms are fully validated and deployed. Removing legacy protection prematurely can introduce exposure gaps. The transition must be staged to maintain continuous security coverage. However, there may be environments where continuous dual protection is not feasible. In such cases, temporary isolation or segmentation of vulnerable systems may be required. For example, highly sensitive archives may be segmented from external access until quantum safe mechanisms are implemented. While isolation reduces exposure, particularly against HNDL attacks, it may affect availability and operational flexibility. These trade-offs must be carefully assessed. Talking about hardware, it's clear that it plays a crucial role in technical planning. Some legacy hardware security modules, smart cards, embedded controllers, IoT devices, and network appliances may not support post-quantum algorithms efficiently or at all. Even when firmware updates are possible, performance constraints may render upgrades impractical. Planning must therefore account for hardware compatibility assessment, vendor PQC support roadmap, procurement lead times, supply chain constraints, and physical deployment logistics. Hardware refresh cycles often span months or years, and failing to align them with migration timelines can create bottlenecks. Finally, testing and validation form the foundation of safe deployment. Before full-scale rollout, organizations must conduct comprehensive validation across multiple dimensions, like compatibility testing to ensure new cryptographic mechanisms integrate with existing infrastructure, then functional testing to confirm authentication, encryption, and signing workflows operate correctly, then performance testing to measure latency, bandwidth impact, and resource utilization, and finally, security testing to validate that implementations meet required assurance levels. Testing environments should simulate real-world production conditions as closely as possible. Pilot deployments in lower-risk systems can provide valuable operational insights before enterprise-wide implementation. Technical planning ensures that migration strengthens the security posture without destabilizing business operations. It balances innovation with continuity and modernization with resilience. When executed correctly, technical planning transforms PQC adoption from a risky leap into a controlled, measurable evolution of the enterprise trust architecture. PQC migration is not a simple cryptographic update. It is a multi-year transformation of enterprise trust architecture. Structured planning bridges the gap between quantum risk awareness and secure controlled execution. Organizations that approach this transition strategically, aligning governance, budgeting, dependency mapping, and phase deployment, will not only mitigate quantum risk, but also modernize their cryptographic posture for decades to come. In the next part, we will dive deeper into how to achieve the outcomes we discussed today. For more information, you can visit our website or contact us at info@encryptionconsulting.com or puneet@encryptionconsulting.com. We look forward to your questions. Thank you so much for being with us today.